Hey folks, coming to you from the Cincinnati Yoga School again. I just tried to use this, just tried to do this video once, and I had to delete it and start over about halfway through it because I dropped an inappropriate cuss word when I was talking about something that I was pretty frustrated about. So I just want to own that. As much as I want to be real about my experience and what I'm going through, I also want to be respectful, and I want as many people as possible to watch these videos, and so I don't want it to be uncomfortable or be rude and present in a way that some people might not like. And so I'm feeling a little frustrated that I have to start all over again. I was trying to make this a short video, and I was about 7 minutes in and felt like I was doing a good job of keeping it concise and presenting it. And so I just want to own that I'm in a frustrated place around that. So what I started out talking about that I'm going to reiterate now is I've really been working hard to carry joy with me. In fact, this past Sunday during Sacred Circle, when it was my turn to share, one of the things I shared about was how, in making this conscious effort to really love myself and care for myself, that I'm finding it easier to be present to the joy in my life, to the good things in my life, and to carry those with me and to be thankful for those. And that's a different experience than what I've often had in life. It's often very easy for me to focus on the negative and get caught up in the day-to-day. And, it's like, my life is negative, 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 with just spurts of joy that jump in. And so it's been a really cool experience to learn how to live with carrying joy in me every day. And it helps in how I respond to different things when they jump up. Not all the time, but often. And we'll get to that in a minute. And so it's really cool. And, I know that, I'm making this shift in part because I continue to put the work in. I continue to focus on trying to love myself and trying to see myself and my life in different ways. And at the same time, I'd be missing something if I didn't recognize that part of that, especially the shift that I've seen in the last couple of months, I attribute to this illness and to being scared that I was going to die. And, I told more than one person, I don't know if I've shared this in these videos yet or not, but I've shared on more than one occasion with friends and mentors that I talked to that, I felt like this illness was my body's way of saying, hey, you got to learn to love me and to love everything about me, or you're going to die. I can't keep surviving the way you're treating me, not just physically with eating and that kind of thing, but emotionally and psychologically. Like the parts of my being were just like, I'm done. And so a big part of my healing journey has been about getting really serious about paying attention to what messages I'm feeding myself, and paying attention to the good things that I do and the good choices that I make and the good that I do for other people in my life. And it's having an effect. And, I know that's a cumulative effect over time, but I think I've made a lot of major progress these last couple months, just because of being sick and being afraid of dying and really thinking serious about, God, if I was to die, I would not be satisfied with how I've often presented myself and how I've handled struggles and difficulties in my life. And I don't want to die with regrets like that. So I am fully committed to making this shift. And it feels good. It feels good to carry that joy and to be in that place. Now, having said that, I also want to talk about an experience I had yesterday and what I did to overcome and get out of that experience. So yesterday, I went to move my trailer. I parked my trailer on the street outside of the storage place where I store all my business equipment and stuff. And I have to go over there every day. Sometimes I don't make it every day, it's every 2 days. But 90% of the time, it's every day because Cincinnati has this 24-hour parking limit. And so yesterday I go over to move it, and the trailer is all wrecked up. Somebody hit it. uh, they ran into it from the back, but kind of on the side, and so the latch is broke that holds the back gate up. Had to tie it up with some wire. The brake lights and turn signals and everything are busted off the side. The fender and wheel well, bumper, whatever, is smashed in like past the wheel, and tires flat, and they had hit it so hard that the rim is actually bent. Like, I mean, just like completely bent. They were driving a Ford Expedition and hit it really hard. Their car had to be towed, according to the police. So I get there, I see this, I immediately go to a really negative place. I'm like, there's nobody left a note on the car or anything. There's pieces of their vehicle laying around, so it looked like they didn't even stop. And I'm just like, here I go again. Why does this kind of stuff always happen to me? I barely got $100 in the bank. And, I'm thinking like, now I'm going to have to spend money on a new tire. I have a spare rim, so, I can wait till my season picks up to buy another rim, but I got to get a tire put on this spare rim. I'm going to have to get my grinder out and cut off the wheel well so I can even put a new tire on it. I'm going to have to figure out a way to rig up the latch in the back so the gate will work, because, I'm certain it's a hit and run. Like, why anyway? So I call the police to make a report. I'm not going to submit it to my insurance because I can't afford to take the hit on my insurance and for my rates to go up and all that kind of stuff. So, but I still want to have a report with the police and have it documented. So I call the police, and they're like, we'll send somebody out. Well, then an hour later, I get a call back from the police. Nobody ever shows up. And they tell me that there was a report made, that the person who hit it stopped, that there was a report. They have the report. But they don't know if the person was insured or not. The officer did not, failed to fill out the police report completely. So they don't have the person's phone number or their insurance information or anything else. So I'm still feeling at this point like this is all going to be on me because the police didn't do their job right. And the police didn't do their job right. And so I leave, they're like, we're not sending somebody out since the report was already made. So I leave and I go to the store. I'm stressed, I'm pissed off, I'm starting to feel depressed. And I go to the store and I buy like this 1 pound bag of Swedish fish, because that's always been like a go-to for me. But I haven't had Swedish fish in over 2 months. I've been doing so good at staying away from so many things that are bad for me and that are literally addictions for me. And but I get this bag of Swedish fish and I come home and I'm just shoveling these Swedish fish into my mouth. It's just like how I'm soothing myself. And yeah, I'll go ahead and share. I was going to withhold, but I stopped and got a soft pretzel at UDF also. And I'm shoveling that into my mouth along with these Swedish fish and just feeling sorry for myself. And I ended up going to sleep early. And I woke up this morning pretty early and was just angry with myself. I was just judging myself about how I responded and what I did the night before. And I got up and went to the bathroom, and this is around 7 o'clock. And I'm supposed to have a mentor call at 8:30. What I've been trying to do lately is get up in the morning and do 10 or 15 minutes of yoga every morning before I start my day, just to be in a better place and also help with my health and, that kind of thing. And I'm like, I'm not doing it. I'm just going to go back upstairs and lay down and feel sorry for myself, and, and then talk to my friend on my mentor call at 8:30. And I was just going to stay in bed till then. Well, I went back upstairs, I laid down, and I just wasn't satisfied with that. I'm laying in bed, and I'm like, this isn't helpful. You know where this road leads. You know that the more you feed into being depressed, the more that you feed into not feeling good, the more that you feed into feeling sorry for yourself, then the more depressed you get, the more sorry you feel for yourself, and the more negatively you judge yourself. So are you going to let yourself do that, or are you going to do something different? And so, it wasn't an easy decision to make. It took me 15 or 20 minutes of arguing with myself, but I got up. By 7:30, I was out of bed. I did my 15 minutes of yoga and began to feel better. I got on my mentor call. That was great. I called the police department. I got the police report. The guy's address was on the police report, so I drove by this guy's house against my better judgment. I tried to get somebody to go with me to be a witness, but I couldn't find anybody. And I needed to get this done as soon as possible because I'm at risk of my trailer being towed right now because it's technically parked illegally the way it was left after the guy hit it. But I can't change the tire out and park it legally and do all that until an insurance adjuster comes out. So I go by this guy's house. He's a really nice guy. I felt awful even asking for the information and having to make the claim on his insurance because at least from a financial perspective, he's in a much worse place than even I am. And yet he was a really honest guy, a really nice guy, and you could tell he was just trying to do the right thing. He was trying to be a responsible citizen and a responsible human being. And that is so wonderful to find in our society. And so I'm finding myself, from going from this place of being pissed off and worried about this guy not having insurance, and then the police not getting his information, and worried about, is he going to try to withhold it, to being faced with the reality that this is a wonderful guy. And me making a claim on his insurance is just going to make his life harder because his insurance rates are going to go up, and he clearly can't afford that. But I don't have the money to fix my trailer properly without doing the insurance claim. Why does so much about life have to be about money? So back to me. So I got this guy's insurance information and I make a claim, and I'm now waiting for them to call me back so adjuster can come out and I can get all that stuff done and move forward with the process. And the point I wanted to make was, how even when I feel like I'm doing really well, how easy it is for something to trigger me and get me off my game. And the other important key is how, by really focusing on trying to develop a new mindset and trying to carry this positivity, how I was able to shift my thinking and get into a better place in a relatively quick time. And I that has not been the norm for me. I'm not saying I haven't ever done it, But, you know, the norm for me is to let things get me down, to wallow around in my sorrow and feel sorry for myself. And, you know, for a period of days or weeks and sometimes even months before something happens that I'm able to make a shift. And it feels good to be able to learn how to live in a way where I can make those shifts more intentionally and more quickly. And so I'm thankful for that. And I'm thankful for those of you that watch and listen to me. And, you know, I hope I'm sharing things that are valuable for you or other people in your life. Uh, be sure to subscribe to my page, like and follow my Facebook page, Virtuous Archetypal Exploration, and you know, share what I post, comment on it. Comments would be extremely helpful. I'd love to have feedback about what everybody thinks about these videos and what I'm posting. But most importantly, if you find it of value for yourself or if you think it could be valuable to others, the more you comment, the more you subscribe, the more you like and share and watch stuff, the more attention it will get on social media and the more people I'll be able to reach. So thank you for being here with me, and I'll look forward to the next time.